gonna fucking trash your lights? Do you want me to fucking trash them?
Yeah, it's the Double H. It's me, back at the game, Alright, yeah, okay, this is the TS Terminator Salvation review. I'm sorry that it took so long, but I just had to realize, analyze, visualize, and conceptualize my mind tonight, Yeah, look, man, let's just put this out in perspective. I'm 100% against this Terminator film because without James Cameron, there is no Terminator. It's as simple as that. James Cameron is Terminator because he's the guy who created it. So, without him, there is no Terminator. And also, you can't make a Terminator without Arnie. I'm sorry. For the sake, this is Arnie, the guy of Predator, the guy of Commando, the guy of Raw Deal, Kaminsky. This guy, for goodness sake, this guy has hits, and Terminator was his finest hour. So you know that whatever was Arnie's finest hour is a damn amazing flick, which Terminator is. Terminator 1 and 2. I'm totally against the Terminator television film, and I'm totally against what Halcyon are doing by buying off the creative rights of James Cameron and trying to see whether they can make a quick buck with Pizza Hut promotional deals and toys, and trying to make this into a franchise that can make them even more money. But you failed, guys. You failed because the movie flopped big time. It flopped like a flip flop. Like a dolphin. So good. I'm happy that I flopped. Made it like 300 something million, only like 100 million more. So it was considered a flop. So I'll be surprised if there is a part 5 or whatever it's called. Basically, Terminator ended with T2, and those two films is all you need. But let's not go into this film, Salvation. Let me come off the bat by saying that Salvation is it is almost light years better than Transformers. This is, obviously, I had my Transformers review before, and I tried to be as objective as possible, but Transformers is a steaming pile, and it is a pile of C, a pile of CRAP. So it's just a rubbish film, and considering the insults that this Terminator Salvation is getting, it is not a bad film. It is not. I can't call it a bad film. It's not great, but it's not a bad film, and I'm actually quite impressed with what McG did. It's nothing amazing, nothing special, but as a product, as something as a whole, when you compare it to the abomination that is Revenge of the Fallen, McG actually made a film that's actually had some sort of a tone, and it made something that was cohesive. Like, I could follow the story, and it had a beginning. It had somewhat of a beginning, somewhat of a middle, but it definitely had an end, so it was a complete whole thing, which was in complete contrast to what Revenge of the Fallen was. But basically, let's just touch upon this whole the infamous Bale rant, because obviously Bale, he ranted, he swore for almost 4 minutes at the director of photography. And he was then saying that he takes his thing so serious when he's trying to get into character. Let me come off the bat by saying that I'd say the worst thing about this film was actually Bale as John Connor. Not probably, he was the worst thing about this film. His performance in this film, for me, was rubbish. It was a bad performance and extremely unprofessional performance from somebody like Christian Bale. It was just bad. Shouting too much. You never really got a sense of what his character was in it. It just seemed like if Bale was trying to imitate a tough leader or something. So it just came off as very one-dimensional, very predictable, no nuance, no subtlety, just, for me, bad performance. And shockingly, one of the best things about this film was the cinematography. The film looked really good, and there were some shots where it's like, wow, this actually looks really good, just the whole, obviously you can tell that this was heavily influenced by Mad Max with all of the desert scenes and that whole post-apocalyptic look. So a bit of Mad Max and a bit of Escape from New York in there. So yeah, but the film, it looked good. It looked like, yeah, this actually looks good, and it's ironic because everybody was like, and because Bill was the guy who was shouting the director of photography, but this director of photography actually did the DP did probably the best job in this film, whilst Bill did the worst job in this film because his performance in this was nah. But speaking of performances, I think hopefully when Avatar comes at the end of this year, Worthington, he could be a guy to look out for because this is now the second film that Bill has been outperformed. He was outperformed in Dark Knight by Heath Ledger and Gary Oldman and what's his face, Homo sapiens stroke, what's his face, Harvey Dent, and now in this film he's now being outperformed by Sam Worthington, and Sam Worthington gave, it was a good performance, for me. I was like, this guy has something. Obviously, the character could have benefited from John Connor not being given such a meaty role because the John Connor character was completely pointless. It really shows that, yes, Bale did ask for a rewrite so he could be John Connor, because I could actually see from what the writers were saying, that originally John Connor was not supposed to have a big role in this film. It was supposed to be about Marcus Wright and Kyle Reese, whereas John Connor was in the background, because it just showed that, why is John Connor in this? It just detracts him from the whole Marcus Wright and Kyle Reese story. And and Anton Yelchin, the guy who Anthony Yelkin or Yelchin, the guy who was Kyle Reese, good job as well, good performance. I'd say he was good. Those two were good. The rest, whatever. What's it called? Common, the rapper. Now it's now this new trend that rappers are now in films now. Who was bands? He was hardly in it, but at one point he was wearing sunshades in a poster. I don't know how that works if you're the humans and your back is against the wall and you have time to wear sunshades at night. But that brings me to another point, is that when you saw the Judgment Day, when you saw that war at the beginning of T1 and T2, you felt like, man, these guys are on the brink. It was dark. The machines were messing these guys up. These humans were basically just crawling through the dirt like rats, and they were just like, man, you felt like if these humans, guys, are down low like wolves, hyenas, something like hedgehogs or something like that. But you really, as a viewer, you felt like, wow, the humans their backs are against the wall, and you even felt even greater respect for John Connor, for him to be able to lead the humans out of what looked like a very difficult spot that they were in, because James Cameron really illustrated just how hard this task was for the humans to fight against the machines. But then when you look at this, at the Mcgerminator, there was never a feeling that the humans had their backs against the wall. And it never felt like if there was any large threat. It never felt like if the humans found it hard to fight against the other machines, because most of it took place in the day. And also, even when you saw the humans in the base and everything, it just looked too relaxed and laid back. And also, if you're fighting a war and it's post-apocalyptic times, where do you have time to have makeup? Because I'm sure Moon Bloodgood and Bryce Dallas Howard, John Connor's wife, they had makeup on, and their hair was looking all good and everything. How can your hair look good and you look good during wartime?